Hello, friends. It's time for me to read my annual family Christmas letter, the McDonald family Christmas letter. And it's for those of you who didn't get one because I don't send out that many. And it's also for me to keep so that my grandchildren can hear their grandma read it whenever they get old, whenever I get old, or I'm not here anymore. Anyhow, Merry Christmas, friends. To say that I've been busy is an understatement, but I've learned to accept that because that is really how I roll. My life feels like a whirlwind. I was so busy that I almost decided not to write, but the recent snow got me moving. If you get this after Christmas, then it's because nobody received them before Christmas. So here go the updates. Actually, a few people did get it because when I wrote it, Walmart had told me that this wasn't going to be here until the middle of the first week of January, but they got it done and I got a few out there. So go Walmart. Jack and Olivia have two boys, Theo and Judah. I am so thankful that they live in my neighborhood. Really, really thankful. As expected, they are beautiful, sweet, and smart. True to McDonald form, they have a few little molehills to climb, of course. As Judah had a setback in his growth and development when he started to prefer bottles over nursing, and his weight spiraled down until mommy's intuition raced him to the doctor and solved the setback. So now he's catching up. Theo's peanut allergy and asthma keep the family on high alert, and he will soon be wearing leg braces to straighten his legs and ankles. Very soon, as in tomorrow. That was supposed to be in the middle of January, and that is happening on Friday, which is tomorrow, which is before New Year's, which is a little bit stressful. It's also exciting. It's stressful and exciting. Anyhow, we are all curious about how this will affect daily life, but we know that anyone who can race around on the little legs that he has, the way he does, will figure it all out quickly. Along with parenting, Jack is running a successful personal training business. I believe his biggest goal is to get his mother to exercise. His gym is at his home and has room for 2 simultaneous sessions. In January, there will be 2 trainers working with him. In addition to being a busy wife and mommy, Olivia works full-time at our church as the student ministry coordinator with high school and middle school students. She is also taking 1 class per session online through Moody Theological Seminary, working towards her master's degree in biblical studies. I feel like I'm tripping over my tongue. I'm sorry. Maggie is enjoying her role as Auntie Mags, aka TT, and is set to spoil her little nephews. She put up a fish tank in our family room for Theo and enjoys taking him out to the barn to see her 4 little piggies and out for a little date. Of course, she loves spending time with both boys, reading them stories and playing. Maggie took me on a trip to Florida in September. It was amazing. We started by visiting Universal Studios so that Maggie could go to the wizarding world of Harry Potter. I was probably the only person there that had never read the books. Her dream come true. We dog sat for a friend of hers and spent most of the days visiting my lifelong friend Julie, who moved down there just previously, prior to our trip. And I saw her a lot, which was great. We went to an alligator park where Maggie got to hold a real alligator. We also visited Marineland, and Maggie was chosen to help in the dolphin show, which I loved watching. And I fulfilled my bucket list item dream of swimming with a dolphin. And I didn't just get to swim with it like across one time like I thought I was going to. I was in there for a half hour doing different things, and that was so cool. Maggie and I will be going on a Disney cruise in January with our friends and their girls. It is a gift from Maggie to me, and she informed me that it was for my birthday, Christmas, Mother's Day, and my anniversary. I think it sounds reasonable. Mags also spends time babysitting, visiting friends, and volunteering in the church nursery. And she also has some health issues that we're working on, so keep her in your prayers. Danny and his wife Rachel are enjoying married life. They've all just celebrated 1 year, so they are continuing to bounce around from one interesting place to another. Danny is presently attending school to learn plant-based cooking, and Rachel is painting beautiful masterpieces that she sells through her Etsy shop. They are living in Colorado, where they spent the first 2 months living in a tent and working at a farm market. Isn't that fun? I don't know. I think they have a lot of fun. Um, Much to the relief of all four of their parents, they are now living in an apartment and awaiting the birth of their first child, due very, very soon. We love their adventurous spirit, but we all agreed that a newborn should not live in a tent in the winter. The baby is due January 5th. We are super excited, waiting to meet our newest grandchild. Danny is finishing school in June. We are hoping that they spend a lot of time in the area before they move back to their properties in Virginia and Tennessee to transform the property into their homestead, planting trees and gardens, and raising goats and chickens. As much as we miss them, we take comfort in knowing that they prioritize finding a Bible-believing church and that God goes with them wherever they go. And we don't know if it's a girl or boy, but we probably will by the time you see this. Anyhow, Charlie still loves his job at Campbell Hardware. He says that he spends most of the workday at a desk as he works on the computer system doing IT, invoicing, and billing. However, he works a variety of roles as needed. During the school year, he is the coach of the debate team at Mooney, a private high school. He gives the job 110% and loves researching, training his students, and attending tournaments. At the recent Glen Oak debate tournament, the big one for the semester, one of his debaters made it all the way to the semifinals. Top 4 out of 81 competitors from all over the state. She was the first of his students to place higher at that tournament than he had when he was in high school. His love of reading books goes hand in hand with his love of debate, as the books are all way over my head and written by famous philosophers whom I've never heard of. And I would not read one of those books to save my life. But he understands them and everything. Sammy is in his 3rd semester at school at YSU. Oh, 3rd year of school, not 3rd semester. Since he is a nursing student, he spends most of his time studying and attending his classes and clinicals. It is an exhausting major, but Sammy is more and more confident that he made the correct choice. He is still deciding what specialty he is interested in pursuing, but at this time he is leaning toward becoming a pediatric orthopedic nurse. This seems natural to me since he spent a lot of time being a pediatric orthopedic patient during his childhood, and still some more this May as a young adult orthopedic patient. The hip restoration surgery he had this summer was quite involved. It used up 3 months of his summer for recovery, which was a bit frustrating for a young adult who wants to be out there working and hanging out with his friends. Fortunately, his hip is healed, and he is usually pain-free. Something that could not be said for the past 12 years. His surgeon released him to play volleyball, which is quite intense. I about fell over when I heard the doctor say that Sammy could do anything he wanted, even play volleyball. It was so unexpected. I am beyond happy for him. I know that he would have played anyhow, but hearing the surgeon give the go-ahead was music to my ears. Sammy loves playing volleyball and plays setter or hitter in various tournaments and at YSU for the men's club team. Probably my biggest joy is that Sammy plays an active role in our church's young adult ministry, the Bible Talks. As is true with many parents, knowing that your young adult child is attending church and growing in knowledge of the Bible, worshiping and fellowshipping with young believers, attending church on a regular basis, that is a major hope fulfilled. Keith is retired now, earlier than we planned. He worked part-time at a local golf course in the summer and is subbing at our local school during the school year, where I sub. He prefers subbing gym or kindergarten and is well liked by the students. While I was subbing recently, a new aide asked if I was the Mrs. McDonald who was married to the Mr. McDonald who subs. After confirming, I was told that her daughter was very upset when Mr. McDonald was not in her classroom that Tuesday. He had been subbing her classroom for 4 days, and she missed him. It is fun when we attend other school events, and the children that run into us are excited to see us. I know that Keith enjoys the attention as much as I do. On the days that he does not sub, he goes to the gym to work out and enjoys stopping at the store to pick up a few groceries. Keith gave us another big scare this October when he landed in the hospital with an infected abdomen. Long story short, he developed an ulcer which broke through the intestinal wall, causing a leakage into his abdomen. Thankfully, his body encapsulated the perforation, so no surgery was needed. 1 week in intermediate care and 3 weeks of IVs at home, and he is doing great, which gave Sammy a lot of practice. But he was able to attend the annual Ohio State University Michigan game trip with his lifelong friends, and though disappointed at the loss, is hoping for retaliation during the postseason. O-H-I-O. That's what you're supposed to do. O-H-I-O. Most of my life is intertwined with my family, so everything you've read is important to me. However, I can add a few details. I had to quit working at my short-lived job at Head Start. So many reasons. Anyhow, during the summer, I had many fantastic fun day adventures with a friend and groups of children. This fall, I started my own very, very mini homeschool preschool and childcare Mondays through Thursdays, and it works out very well for my family in so many ways. I often substitute at South Range on Fridays unless I need to go to an appointment. And I also teach online math for Splash Learn, but they recently cut back tremendously. And I am honored that I was one of the few tutors that they kept, but my hours have been cut drastically. And actually, I haven't started back up yet since they kind of did the original shutdown, and they're going to be starting back up. And I just really don't know how many hours I'm going to get. So it would be a little stressful, except I know that God will provide and we'll use it somehow. Something will happen. So anyhow, I'm praying for God's guidance and his provision. I still enjoy leading lesson time for the Awana Cubbies at church and teaching the 2-year-old class with Keith. Next year, our little Theo will be in our class. And I am amazed that my ministry, Hope and Glory Kids Club, it's in Tanzania, Africa, has grown to serve 29 children there in Tanzania. With God's provision through many of his people, this year we bought an acre of land for future building, and it had tons of banana trees on it. So we gave our children bananas, and we even sold some bananas. Isn't that cool? I want to see it. Anyhow, we sent 2 never-schooled teens to a technical school. That was a huge answer to prayer. We needed something for George and Esta, and God provided it. We sent the Shoe That Grows to all of our kids. We provided uniforms and fees for 6 preschoolers to start their education, and we sent 10 students and 3 leaders to Awana camp this month. It's a Bible camp. To God be the glory. I pray that God uses me for his glory. And my life verse is Philippians 1:21. For me to live is Christ and to die is gain. Once again, my letter is perhaps too long. However, I am hoping that it is long enough to cover the subject, but short enough to be interesting. A teacher once told me that. As I close, I will share a little song that I enjoy singing with my little ones in my life. Get out the jingle bells. I brought mine. Of course, you'd expect that from me, right? It goes like this. It's called Come On, Ring Those Bells. Everybody likes to take a holiday. Everybody likes to take a rest. Spending time together with the family. Sharing lots of love and happiness. Here come the bells. Come on, ring those bells. Light the Christmas tree. Jesus is the King, born for you and me. Come on, ring those bells. Everybody say, Jesus, we remember it's your birthday. Celebrations come because of something good. Celebrations we like to recall. Mary had a baby boy in Bethlehem, the greatest celebration of them all. Come on, ring those bells, light the Christmas tree. Jesus is the King, born for you and me. Come on, ring those bells, everybody say, Jesus, we remember it's your birthday. I won't sing that chorus 2 more times and faster and everything because, I think you had enough. Anyhow, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. And I really hope that you'll comment below and that I hear from you and that I hear from people that I haven't heard from for a while. I'll talk to you later. Merry Christmas. Bye. Happy New Year.